Hi, and welcome to this fourth and final video in this series, How to Start and Lead a Small Group. And in this video, we're going to be looking at what to do between your small group sessions, your small group meetings. No surprise to you if you've watched the previous videos in this series, which I hope if you haven't, you should watch those first before this final one. But you should be praying regularly, daily, in fact, for your small group, for each of your members by name. What's something that you should do between sessions? Pray for your fellow group members. Specifically, I think, as you're praying for them, be thinking about what they've shared, especially as you've gotten further into the group, they start sharing their life. Pray for specific intentions that come to mind in light of the discussion that you've had as you've led them through your small group sessions previously. Think about what it is that they're in need of, the graces they need, and pray for them in that. So, Lord, I want to pray for John and for the promotion that he's up for. Maybe you've got a group member who's shared that they're trying to move up at work and they're going to be interviewing for a promotion. Pray for that for them. Whatever it is, Jane's going to be having a baby. Pray for Jane for a safe, healthy pregnancy and delivery of her baby. So don't be afraid to be specific. I encourage you to be specific in your prayer. As you're thinking through praying about for your fellow group members, also be thinking about those who might want to go deeper. Think about those people maybe who are looking, you can tell, you got a sense they're looking for more, and think about how you might be able to help them. Maybe you could personally meet with them on occasion outside of small group. Or maybe there's somebody else in the parish, maybe the priest, maybe your DRE or youth minister or another leader in your parish could help them sort of take that next step. So that's something you should be thinking of as you're praying for your fellow group leaders. Those who maybe you can tell they're looking for more, they're desiring more, they're wanting more, and see how you, either yourself or somebody else in the parish, how you can help them take that next step. Another thing to be conscious of, thinking about, aware of between sessions is the balance of your group's growth. Okay. I've talked before about how a small group is not just a study. Well, is your small group becoming a study? Are you becoming maybe too focused on just the purely intellectual dimension of the faith? Is it not reaching into life? Maybe the other extreme is it becomes sort of just a support group. Is there not really any growth in understanding and living out our Catholic faith as part of it? Is more of just a, a support group. Life's really hard and I'm struggling. That should come up, but just as you don't want the study dimension to dominate, you don't want the support dimension to dominate. Is there enough prayer as part of your group? Is there enough content as part of your group? Is there enough conversation, discussion? Those are all things that you should be aware of, mindful of, be thinking about. Not that you necessarily have to take drastic action in your next session, but you might want to start to slowly course correct. Maybe you realize we've gotten a little bit off track one way or the other. So start to take some initial steps to get back on track. Maybe there's a question that came up in your previous session that you need to do some investigation on. By the way, that's one thing that I'd emphasize that I don't think I mentioned in video number 3. You don't need to be the teacher. You don't need to have all the answers. If somebody asks a question and you don't have an answer for it, just say, that's a great question. I have no idea. Let me do some investigation and get back to you next week or next session. So if you've got questions that came up in your last session, maybe do some research. Ask your priest or your DRE, or maybe reach out to the diocese. You should also, now looking to your next meeting coming up, make sure that you've prepared for the session. Whatever prep the resource requires, make sure that you've done that. So even though you don't need to be the teacher, you should be prepared. So you're familiar with the material yourself. You've watched the video. You've looked it over. Those are all helpful things to do, even knowing that the book or the video or the audio, whatever, maybe that's the teacher, but you as the facilitator, it's helpful and important that you be familiar with the content. With that, in terms of how to find a resource, ask your pastor or your DRE. Maybe they've given you one. I want your small group to do this, but maybe you've done it and now what do we do next? Ask your pastor or DRE or somebody in parish leadership, maybe the diocese. Ask them what should the next study that we do be. As you're preparing then, though, as you're looking through the study, be thinking to yourself, and this is why I think it's important for you to preview the material. You want to have examples from your own life of how this teaching, this resource might make a difference, of how it'll apply to your life. So that when you get to the discussion, you'll be able to, this point that the book made or the video made, I can see where this will matter for this reason. Or I was thinking, wow, I need to do that more in this particular way. So I think it's important that you have examples of application to life ready at hand if need be for the sake of the discussion. So you've done that. You're coming up. Remind your small group members of the day before the meeting. Again, however they said that they want to be contacted, text, call, email, whatever. Remind them the day before, hey, we're meeting tomorrow at X place at Y time. Looking forward to seeing you. And make sure that you remind them. And then plan for the logistics. So if there are materials that you have to bring if you're meeting somewhere else, or have ready if you're meeting at your own home. Snacks, hospitality. Again, this is not just a study. I think to the degree that you can to be good, maybe yourself or somebody in the group. Maybe somebody in the group loves doing this sort of thing where they bring homemade cookies or pie or whatever it is, drinks. If there's somebody in the group who wants to do that, or you want to do that, to have some snacks or hospitality ready. I would invite others to contribute in some way or fashion. Maybe it's not snacks or drinks, but invite others to take some ownership in your small group. Again, you're not the teacher and they're not the students. You guys are in this together, walking together. So invite others to contribute in a way that would make sense and that would just deepen the experience of your small group. Make sure also as you're between sessions that you're praying. And not just for your group members, as I said at the beginning, but also for your own sake. You will be a more fruitful small group leader the more that you are praying. So make sure that you're taking your own relationship with God seriously, not just praying for the sake of your small group members. You should be doing that. We've emphasized that throughout, but also for your own sake. As I said in the first video, small groups are a very powerful and fruitful way for people to draw closer to God and to one another. Pray yourself as a leader of your small group, not only for the people who are in the group, but also for your own sake. As the leader of the small group, it's important that you're continually drawing closer to God. That's how you're modeling it for the others, even if they're not seeing you pray on a daily basis, and thus they're part of your family, but still it makes a difference. And you'll be able to speak to that in ordinary, organic ways during your session about your prayer. So make sure that you are praying yourself. And again, as you're leading your group, preparing for your group, finding answers, whatever it is, ask the Lord to be in your group, in your leadership of the group, the conversation of your group. Cover your small group, saturate your small group with prayer, and know with confidence that God will draw you each and all closer to Him. Thanks for watching this series, and let us know if you have any questions. God bless.